No, I'm backing. Yeah. I'm backing Fatty.
Are you serious? They're going to offer him 50 million a season to stay there. That's about 10 million more than.
You know what? Forget it. Stay in Paris.
Do you think Man United have a chance of getting relegated?
Absolutely.
All that and more in today's Q&A. I'm here with Ed today. Matt's on holiday, and so we'll get straight into it. I'm up first too, from Zainab Chauhan. Do you think Man United have a chance of getting relegated?
Absolutely. They're the hot favourites to get relegated for me. They've got poor. They're not good going forward. They're not good at the back. You know, Fergie always used to say titles win you defences. Well, they get you relegated as well. Mm-hmm. No, of course, Man United aren't going to be relegated. But they're very fortunate there just happens to be a lot of very bad teams in the league because they are not a good side whatsoever, this Man United team. They're not scoring any goals, like I said. The midfield's awful. I mean, everyone's always saying, Pogba's the only world-class player, but he doesn't turn up half the time anyway.
Even the squad that they've got now is getting ravaged by injuries as well. By the way, I think you said titles win you defences before.
Oh, I meant defences win you titles. Titles
I'm
win
sure
you
you guys saw that already. I mean, obviously not getting relegated, but certainly it's not a great season so far. We often get accused of Man United bashing, but so let's move on to the next question.
We don't talk about Man United. If they don't want bashing, we can't discuss Man United. They're only deserving of bashing. Here's another one.
Which is a nice segue. These are questions from the audience, by the way. We must remind you that.
Yeah, so your beef here is with Alpha, who sent the question in.
Yep.
Paddy, would you rather stay in jail for 10 years or stay in jail until Man United win the Champions League?
Jeez. I mean, the question here is, do we see Man United winning the Champions League in the next 10 years?
Yeah.
Well, yes, you do see him, or yes, that's the question?
That's the question, yeah. Do I see it happening? No, I mean, it's your answer.
I think I'd probably then stay in jail for 10 years. I don't see United winning the Champions League in 10 years. That being said, funnier things have happened and things have turned around a lot quicker.
Wouldn't it be awful being in prison?
In general.
Watching Man United in the Champions League final.
That would be.
Can you imagine
knowing
the pressure
that you've
on
got
that?
6 years left of your sentence and thinking, I could have got out.
And you've got Mason Greenwood running through on goal. It'd be horrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah. No, tough question. I think United are a fair way from winning the Champions League in any case, but also 10 years, a lot can change in 5, let alone 10. So
true.
Yeah.
So what are you going for?
Actually, I thought I would go for the jail in 10 years, but now you've sort of said that, I'll take Man United to win the Champions League.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Bold.
They've got money, they just need a bit more sense.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
From Random Jabbar, do you think the Golden Boy Award, the nominees of course released this week, will affect the young players giving them pressure, or does it just boost their confidence, and who do you think will win it?
I don't think the pressure's too much. If you look at the past winners, the likes of Wayne Rooney, Lionel Messi, Sergio Aguero, Rafael van der Vaart, they nearly all went on to have spectacular careers.
Correct.
There are a couple that didn't really. Mario Balotelli never really lived up to his name. Mario Götze, apart from scoring the winning goal in the World Cup final, which isn't bad, obviously a lot of players would swap careers for that, but he's never really hit those magnificent heights. But I think players in general handle it quite well.
Yeah, I would agree.
These players are so good at that age that they tend to just carry on this trajectory.
Because part of that ability is their mentality as well, and they are mature beyond their years, a lot of these kids.
Yeah, Matthias de Ligt, for example, last year, he was captain of the team. He looked like he could take it all.
So your eventual winner then? Did you just say his name, or?
Well, de Ligt won it last year, but I mean, Ansu Fati's on the list, right?
Yeah, he's played like 6 games.
Yeah, but he's so good.
Of course he is, but there are a lot of 18 to 21-year-olds who have played a lot more senior football than Ansu Fati, and he has like 6 years to win it still.
No, I'm backing. I'm backing Fati.
Are you serious?
I really am backing. I think he's absolutely brilliant. What? Who do you think?
I think de Ligt will win it. I mean, how can you compare the last year with Ansu Fati and Matthias de Ligt?
Because Ansu Fati's sick.
Logic. All right, let's move on. You're up, Ed. You're up.
All right, my question. From Duje Salinovic, who says he's never been featured and he hopes he does this time. Well, congratulations, here you go.
It is a big day.
And with a really tough question, actually.
Okay.
Of the big 6, by which I think he means the top 6, the official sort of biggest teams in the Premier League, Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, City and Arsenal, Liverpool. Of the managers, you have to rank their playing careers, not their coaching careers, their playing careers.
So who have we got here? We've got Klopp, Guardiola, Lampard, Pochettino, Emery, and Solskjaer. Okay, I would probably take...
Sort of split this into three
there's
parts.
some pretty clear tops and some pretty clear bottoms. I would probably just take Lampard from Guardiola. So Lampard, Guardiola.
Yeah.
Who else have we got? Sorry, remind me again.
You got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Solskjaer would be third. Then we've probably
Those three incredibly good careers.
Then we've got Pochettino, very solid career, but obviously not in the same calibre as the
Played
aforementioned
for Argentina. Yeah, was an international.
And then the last two, I think we got Emery and then
Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah. Klopp, we know, a very average player, fantastic coach.
And Emery, pretty much the same. I think played second division in Spain most of his career.
He at least played a lot more. He played a lot more football than Klopp did.
Well, Klopp, I was discussing with someone earlier. It's quite funny. He was down as both a defender and as a striker, which sort of tells its own story.
That's when you know. Like, who was that guy at Spurs you had for a while? Gary Doherty, I think.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
just threw him around whenever you want.
He's a striker this week. He's
just
fine.
Put him in goal.
Not very good at any one thing.
Okay, the next one, and this is a mouthful, so I apologise for butchering this name, from Chaitanya Kowanka. Will it be better for Mbappe to stay at PSG for 1 or 2 more seasons and then move to Real Madrid, or I guess the alternative would be to move right away?
Well, I think this is a really good question for a lot of young players. Should they stay at the sort of smaller club before they take their... That's not the case with Mbappe. It's not like if he moves to Real Madrid, he won't get playing time, and if he stays at PSG, he can develop more. He's not really going to develop any more in that league, I don't think. He's already too good for it. And so the next step up, I think he should take it sooner rather than later, because he's still at that young, important age where you can develop, and I think he's not going to get much better. In Paris, and he's going to play for Real Madrid, so go and do it. Go and play for the biggest. Doesn't have to be Real Madrid.
Sure.
City, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, just somewhere where you've got a bit of a different challenge.
Money may be the big factor here, because reports are they're going to offer him 50 million a season to stay there. That's about 10 million more than...
you know what? Forget it. Stay in Paris.
That's about 10 million more than Neymar gets. That's how much money that is.
That's sickening, isn't it? I mean, if this is like a cool time now to see if he's a man for the money, or if he really wants to become the best in the world. If he does, he's got to leave.
Hometown though as well, he enjoys Paris. There's probably some things he'd love to do with PSG in the Champions League as well. Champions League, yeah.
But they're winning 6-7-0 every week, most weeks. What's the point?
Yeah, fair enough.
Me, for you now, right?
Yes,
we have got, well, you've got a choice of 3, it's multiple choice.
Okay, who's asking the question first?
This is Chibudze DK, I believe. Apologies. Do you think Real Madrid should get option 1, Mbappe and Van der Beek, option 2, Sterling and Pogba, option 3, Havertz and Eriksen?
Quite comfortably option 1, I would say. Option A, which one you sort of said there. I think Mbappe is the biggest draw card there out of all the names on that list.
I think
as much as I like Havertz as a player for the future. And Van der Beek, we know, very highly rated from Ajax. Sterling's a fantastic player. Pogba is, we know, but hasn't showed that for quite some time. Havertz is incredible. We see a lot of him obviously here in Germany. Eriksen, I'm a bit on the fence with.
And they're quite similar, aren't they? The other two, you got a striker and a midfielder for options 1 and 2, but Havertz and Eriksen would be stepping into each other's toes a little bit.
Correct. Okay, moving on from. Actually, no, sorry, it's you again.
It's me again from Rudel11. Rudel. Why are Dortmund performing below expectation?
You can probably help me with this, but I'm still trying to figure that out a little bit. I think a lot of it, if we look at the nature of the games that they've had over the past sort of month that they've struggled on, or weeks that they've struggled with, a lot of it seems to be really sort of seeing out the full 90 minutes, but I think there's something more than just concentration there. I think it's a bit of a personnel thing. The team is far too easy to break down on the counter-attack, and I think we're seeing them getting punished like that. And I think teams are starting to work them out, and work Favre out especially, as to how he sets up his side. And I think that's the problem. When he doesn't have that cover, when teams hit them on the counter, that's where they fall apart with Dortmund.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's a real mentality issue at Dortmund. Don't know.
Shh, don't tell Royce that.
Oh yeah, no, he hates that question. But there obviously is. I think that's probably why he doesn't like the question. He's rattled by it. as soon as they go a goal, 2 goals down, it's very rare that, under Klopp, in Liverpool now under Klopp, they have this sort of siege mentality.
Finish them off.
They don't have that at Dortmund, and they've not had that since Klopp left, and they just sort of wilt.
Yeah, even when they're 2-0 up, and against a team like Augsburg, for example, where they should just put 2 or 3 more past them, you feel like they're 5 minutes away from conceding.
Yeah, I never feel like this. I never do. And when City or Bayern Munich or Barcelona are beating small teams, they're going to see the game out, and you don't with Dortmund.
Do you see Favre as being there at the end of the season for Dortmund?
I think they do need a change actually, because I feel like Favre a little bit like I did when Wenger was in charge of Arsenal. We think, he plays lovely football and he's this sort of scruffy older guy who's a bit of a professor. But I mean, you need to have a winning mentality to win stuff, and that is what is missing.
There's only 23 years difference of times between their respective clubs, of course. But
he has that similar sort of style of coaching. He's very sort of quiet and well-mannered, and but you need to have real fighting spirit to win stuff.
Fair enough. And the pressure is on Dortmund. They spend a lot of money, seem to sign pretty well, so they definitely expected more than they have so far this season. Anyway, from Bate Borisov, thanks for joining us, the major Belarusian club. Who is going to win the Bundesliga? Very close title race at the moment.
It's a really cool title race.
It is.
A few of the usual suspects have come back in. Gladbach used to be such a great team. Schalke have come back a bit this season. You can't ever really rule Dortmund out, despite what we said.
Correct.
But you've also got Leipzig. I fancy someone other than Bayern to win it. So even though Bayern's the obvious choice, I'm going to stick my neck out here and say one of Leipzig or Gladbach.
Wow. Okay, so Leipzig I can see. Gladbach I think are going to fall away just like Schalke will over the course of a season.
It's very likely that happens. But they are top of the league so far. They got that brilliant Marcus Thuram, Lilian Thuram's son. He's been amazing.
Correct.
Brilliant striker and Alisson player. And I would love to see someone other than Bayern win it, just to mix the league up. I've nothing against Bayern.
I think most people would. Yeah, I think most people would.
I think Leipzig probably. I'd say Leipzig first. Gladbach as my dark horses.
Fair enough. Yep. You're up. Yep.
My turn, is it? Right. We have got. Right. If you had the power to bring 2 teams from this year's Europa League to the Champions League, and swap 2 Champions League to Europa League teams, who would they be? And that's from Anurag Saikia. Sorry if I've mispronounced that. So you got
2 up, 2 down.
2 up, 2 down. Champions League to Europa League.
So I think I would have loved to have seen Roma back in the Champions League this season. I think some of the games they've been involved with over the past couple of seasons have been super memorable.
Yeah, some of the most. That one against Barcelona a couple of years ago.
Exactly. Stunning stuff. And so I sort of, I miss them this season, even though, of course, they probably don't deserve to be there results-wise, but at least from last season. But I would love to see them back in there for entertainment value, and just for Nico's sake, Eintracht Frankfurt, of course. I'd love to see them in the Champions League. I know that the town would absolutely lose it if Frankfurt actually made it to that top.
Wouldn't it be
echelon,
cool?
And Nico would be leading the charge. So I think it'd be great to sort of see them up there. So a bit of solidarity on that one. Down, it's a tough one. For example, I think looking at least at the results of some of the teams, I think probably Benfica and Lille have been very disappointing.
Yeah.
And at the risk of not, insulting too many people out there, given they have struggled so far in the tournament, I think they could probably slip out.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I can't really argue with that too much. Man United and Arsenal maybe just because I'm English and I grew up watching the Premier League when I was a kid. Maybe those 2 up, but I can't argue with who goes down. There is quite a bit of dross in the Champions League.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I don't want to mention too many names because you will be on the comments straight away, sort of saying that. Okay, a bit of a sort of a quick fire for you from Arnab Shriyam. Rate these guys from 1 to 10 based on their possibilities. So rate these scenarios from 1 to 10. 1 being not going to happen, 10 being will happen. So De Bruyne winning the Ballon d'Or.
I'll give that a 9. I absolutely love Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
So I mean, often strikers win it, but he deserves it. I mean, there's few players, even strikers, are more talented in their position than Kevin De Bruyne is. I think he's a genius.
Do you see the Ballon d'Or opening up from next season when we're probably going to see the first real decline, potentially, of the Ronaldo and the Messi monopoly?
It better do.
Yeah.
It's about bloody time we got somebody else winning it. Maybe some defenders, like, no one's really won that since Cannavaro won that 13 years ago. I think it would be nice if it opened up a bit
fair
more.
enough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep moving. Liverpool retaining the Champions League title, 1 to 10.
I'm going low because I think they're going to win the Premier League this year, and I think it's one or the other. So I'm going to say 5. I wouldn't rule them out.
Yep. Okay. Another De Bruyne one. De Bruyne breaking Henry's assists record.
I'm going to give that another high score, 8 or 9. The man's a genius.
Okay.
He's a genius.
Granada finishing 4th in La Liga.
Oh, no, I think that's a 50-50. I reckon I'm going to go 5 out of 10 for that. There are too many big teams. They're on a good run, but
yeah. Okay, Neymar to Chelsea.
No, that's 0. Utter nonsense. If he's going anywhere, it's back to Barcelona
That's
or
an ambitious
or to Real Madrid. No chance.
Belgium winning the Euro 2020.
Oh, I like this Belgium team, but they've just
We've been talking about them for a while now,
they've let us down. This goal. I don't like golden generations. I think that really puts too much pressure. You know, the term golden generation, it seems to really weigh heavy on the shoulders.
Yeah.
I think it will be a Spain, maybe England.
So what's your 1 to 10?
They've got a chance. I'll go 6.
6, okay.
But not one
enough.
of the favourites for me.
Okay, fair enough. All right, you're up.
Okie dokie. We have got, now here's a name, Tanish Quimishra 55. I think I've done a good job with that, actually.
Not bad at all, yeah.
Will Luis Suarez, be considered a better player than Zlatan Ibrahimovic by the time both of them hang up their boots?
So before I answer this, thanks for asking an Ajax-related question, because we have a fantastic segue for you guys. Last night, we released our latest Ajax video, and I think you're probably going to enjoy it. It looks at the team that Ajax could have had if none of their stars ever left. So it's quite an interesting one. We'll be keen to hear what you guys sort of think of that. But back to the question. Will Suarez be considered a better player than Ibrahimovic? I would say no. Yeah, I mean, if you have a look at the individual awards that Ibrahimovic has sort of taken home, or at least been in the running for, I mean, how many times was he really nominated and in the running for the Ballon d'Or? I think he's also won trophies just about everywhere he's been. Suarez, fantastic player, and should go down as one of the greats of the last sort of 20 years.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I don't think he's going to hold a patch to Ibrahimovic. I also think that the personality and how the public perceives these two players, Ibrahimovic being a bit of a likeable, egotistical, sort of aura, that this thing that he's created around himself that people seem to warm to in a different way, if that makes sense.
I think you bang on the money with the personality thing. I mean, he just holds himself in a sort of way that says, look at me, I'm the big man of football. Yeah. In a way that Suarez, I mean, also just in terms of playing style, Suarez is a sort of scurrier, he works hard, he's a phenomenally talented player as well.
Played some enemies off and on the pitch as well, but I think both fantastic players, but Ibra gets the vote for me.
Me too.
Okay, from Anthony Emmanuel, will Newcastle win the Premier League this year? What are the odds on this? What are the odds of them winning the Champions League next year?
See, I've been waiting for a question like this for a long time about Newcastle, because I've been saying, no, of course they're not going to win the Premier League this year. But, Leicester did it.
Can you give us some odds at this stage of the season?
Oh my God. Well, Leicester were 5,000 to 1, weren't they? Before the season started when they did it. Now, the bookies have got a bit scared and start offering much shorter odds these days because they lost so much money. But you'd still, I mean, if I was putting £1 down, I'd want £1,000 back at least. Sure. At least 1,000.
So you're saying 1,000 to 1?
They could play the Premier League 1,000 times in a row, and I still don't think they'd win it.
So I've got a Euro somewhere, and this is now on video. It's in my other jacket. Yeah.
I'd take the bet, Paddy. I'd take that Euro.
It's a free Euro for you.
It is a free. There's no way.
It's 1,000 for me if it
I'd
happens
say
to
at
go.
least 1,000 to 1.
And I guess then winning the Champions League next year.
Well, Champions League is going to be 0 unless they qualify.
$1 million
for
to 1?
$1 million to 1.
You're going to give me $1 million. I'll give you another Euro.
Well, you're on.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks. Safe to know that Ed will never make that much money in his career.
No.
But we're having fun.
You can have it. Whatever I make, you can have if that comes true.
All right.
Okay, so we got a question from Diego Antoriano Chavez. Lovely name. Why don't you guys ever wear football kits in videos?
So for me, I actually don't like wearing football kits of teams I don't really follow.
So it'd have to be your own team?
Exactly, which I try and keep not too public on these videos. I'm not a Matt who wears his Tottenham heart on his sleeve and in the foot that's in his mouth most of the time. I would say that I tend to not change my kits too often. I think it shows a bit of disrespect to the teams that I follow. But you're often wearing kits in videos.
I quite often do, yeah. There's a nice little box of kits that we actually have here, and some on the walls here. Sometimes I do strip these dummies naked and steal their clothes. But no, I think it kind of makes a difference who you support. I'm a Fulham fan. Yeah. And so quite often my team isn't involved in the news. They're a smaller club. They're not involved at the sort of tail end of the big competitions. So I don't mind sort of dividing my loyalties a little bit. I happily wear a Schalke video if they have a good weekend in the Bundesliga. I just mix it up.
Yeah. Are there teams that you would not wear?
Absolutely wouldn't wear Chelsea.
I was going to say, the Chelsea would be
I would wear almost any other kit, but I would not wear a Chelsea kit.
Even Arsenal?
I'd wear an Arsenal kit, I'd wear a Spurs kit.
Millwall?
I wouldn't wear a Millwall kit. That's not because I have any personal hatred of Millwall, it's because you shouldn't wear Millwall.
QPR?
No way would I wear a QPR.
There's only one kit that Ed won't win. And then straight away I've just exposed two more.
I'll write you a list of kits I won't wear.
Yeah, we'll share that.
I'll wear all the others.
Yeah, we'll share that. But that's it for today. Thanks for joining us. Matt will be back next week, so don't miss him too much. We hope you've had a good time. Let us know below what you think of today's video, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers, guys.